You got to have a concept. You have a great concept. You guys are doing it, man. And it's an honor for me to just be, a small rock, man, in your mountain. I'm going to pop a top in your honor.
Mr. Doc Walker blessed us with his presence and knowledge.
We want to welcome in our next special guest, Haley Skarupa. She's a three-time world champion in women's ice hockey and most recently won Olympic gold with Team USA.
The Cap Stadium Series is definitely my favorite, obviously. I'm a huge Caps fan, I always have been, and to be there at that game with my teammates and for us to bring, our gold medals to there and share it with everyone in this area was really, really special for me, and just the support and it's been tremendous from everyone in this area, and you could feel that there at that game.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network.
And welcome to episode 385 of Sports on the Hill podcast. So we've got a Victory Monday, got a big show tonight, lots of different topics that we're going to be talking about. We've got a live Monday Night Football game between the Kansas City Chiefs, who are currently beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 14-7. Just about 2.5 minutes left in the first half here. Phillies game just ended with the Phillies losing in that one. So the LA team takes a 2-0 lead in that one, and then Chicago's up 3-0 in this one, where Milwaukee currently leads the series 1-0. So this game is in the bottom of the first. The Cubs were able to put up 3 runs on the road to start this game. So we'll be watching both of those. We're also celebrating a Victory Monday. So I got the Why Not Us from last year. It was an exciting game. Can't wait to talk. We got Champ and Sith live here. So that lots of fun stuff to talk about there. We'll talk about all of the different baseball playoff series and all the different crazy matchups. I did terrible in Pick'em this week. I plummeted. It was a rough week for me, for sure. But I'm happy that I was wrong about the Commanders. So that one was one I was pleased with. So we just hit the 2-minute warning in this live football game. And we'll talk about that. And then what's great, at 10:30 Eastern, or about an hour from now, and if you're listening to the podcast back, we have our hockey roundtable back. So we got Gil and C4 joining us, and we'll talk about the upcoming Capitals season. I'll talk a little bit more about that monumental debacle that we talked a little bit about last week. And then we'll have Champ and Sith also talk a little wrestling too. So lots of stuff to talk about. Sorry for the delay in starting the show tonight for anyone who was trying to tune in live. But with that, I'm going to start with Sith. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Just watching a big promo segment on Monday Night Raw, but it's a Victory Monday, as I've noted. It's Victory Monday. Really happy that we won last night. Been a pretty good day here in the basement, though. Looking forward to what's coming, though, because we've got rain coming in this Wednesday. Friday night, Champ and I will be doing no spots, and then we've got pay-per-view weekends the next 3 weekends. I did the math with Champ on air the other night, and it's like, oh, we're doing Friday shows the next 3 weeks. So yeah, we've got a lot going on, but things are going good.
Awesome.
How about you, Bobby?
I'm doing pretty good. We're doing renovations in the man cave. I'm keeping the camera on this angle so people don't see the craziness that exists in my life right now. But I appreciate my mother-in-law and my wife for trying to tackle years of needed work. But it's all going well. Busy, crazy day. Excited to talk sports with you guys for sure. Champ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm tired. I've been out and about and in my car since about 8 o'clock this morning. My mom was supposed to have her follow-up from her surgery this morning. And I was telling Sif this, just as we were pulling in to the hospital for a doctor's appointment, they called her and said, oh, your doctor got called into emergency surgery. We have to reschedule. So we sat in rush hour traffic. By the way, the government shut down, yet there's still traffic. Someone explain that shit to me, because
I had the same situation. Somebody called me. I drove all the way to Laytonsville today to go to an appointment, and 5 minutes away they called out. I was like, I just drove 25 minutes, and then I have Zara in the back, and she thinks she's going to swim class. I'm like, and so I called my parents real quick. I was like, we're coming to visit for a picnic. Like, turn around and drive 30 more minutes to go to my parents' house. I was like,
yeah, so but I sat in traffic. Thinking, I'm going to, my mom's going to have her doctor's appointment. So after I had to drive back in that same traffic back to drop her off at home, then I went out and I drove Grubhub for a few hours. And then I had to drive back through that traffic to go back to my mother's house to pick up my aunt, because she's taking a train back home to South Carolina so she can go home. And so, yeah, I've been sitting in nothing but traffic and headache and shit all day. I'm tired. And then I got to get up tomorrow because I have a doctor's appointment at 8:30 for myself. And so, yeah.
Crazy stuff. I wanted to switch it up a little bit and let you guys get your big wrestling news out of the way first, and then we'll get into some football talk. But I just want to get Champs and Sith's real quick thoughts, and then because I know that we're going to be talking some MLB later, and I know that Sith's time is shorter tonight, so I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that first, and then we'll get into the Victory Monday as well. But anything big and happening on your end? I'll start off with you, Sith.
I think his internet fucked him again.
Oh, no.
Oh, there he is.
The internet will fuck me, I'm sure.
Yes.
right now I'm watching Raw. I think by my calculations, Champ just got done watching a promo segment with CM Punk and LA Knight, and the Usos got involved, and just craziness. But Raw so far has been really, really good. But this weekend, Champ and I are going to be previewing Crown Jewel Hearth, where if you have a VPN and a Netflix account, you can actually watch SmackDown live at 8 a.m. Friday morning on Netflix, then watch Crown Jewel live on Netflix at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, when the pay-per-view is actually going on. And then we also have TNA Bound for Glory. Matter of fact, last night on the No Spots podcast Twitch channel, I gave out 2 gifted subs, one for All Out, one for Bound for Glory. So we've got the gifted subs out of the way. But what's going to be a really wild weekend?
Nice. Sounds good. All right, let's talk about what people are here to talk about. I want to get Seth's takeaway from this huge victory Monday. I have to say, my initial thoughts were it was going real bad, real fast, and I couldn't get out of the amusement park fast enough, and I thought I was not going to have a really sad drive home, but the second I left the amusement park, everything turned around, and I had the best drive home ever. But Seth, what were some of your thoughts on this great game?
First quarter, I thought I was watching the same thing against Atlanta. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Pardon my French. But then something happens. Lattimore gets a fumble recovery on the 26-yard line as the Chargers were trying to make it a 3-score game. That started to change the dynamic of the game. We got a touchdown via 15-yard rushing from Merritt, and then things just went on from there. The Chargers would come close to scoring, but we kept them to 10 points, which is really cool. Defensively, this was a major test, and they showed up big. The Chargers are kind of on our level, so to keep them at 10 points and keep them in check, because we got 27 unanswered, good shit. Did some calculations. We scored in 5 out of 8 possessions, 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, punted the ball twice, fumbled once. So in 62.5% of our possessions, we scored. Good stuff there. Lastly, Chicago is a trap game, as is Dallas the following week. We just need to focus on us. We don't need to go into the mentality of, oh God, what are we doing against division? No. One game at a time. If we just focus one game at a time, I think issues will work out within themselves. And I think if we show up the way we did yesterday with a little bit more cohesion, we'll beat Kansas City in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Kansas City is definitely coming on stronger than they were when they started, but I definitely think based on what I've seen, we could be the better team. Right now they just went to halftime, and they're still up 14-7, so no score there before half. I'd be interested to see Jacksonville, what they do with their adjustments in the second half. My dad and I were talking earlier today about how impressed we were with our adjustments in this game. And I was talking to him about how for years on our podcast, we always complained about adjustments. Champ, what were some of your takeaways about our second half adjustments?
Well, it wasn't even second half adjustments. It was more like second quarter adjustments. The Chargers scored their 10 points in the first quarter. A LAC McConkey touchdown reception, and then, of course, the field goal. But then the defense turned it on. They managed 5 sacks of Justin Herbert. Jaden Daniels only got sacked 1 time, and they also had 2 takeaways in this game. Did the Commanders defense? They had the fumble that happened in the second quarter, which led to them starting to turn it on, and then of course they had the Sam Still interception at the goal line as LA was driving that killed their drive and ended up giving Washington more and more momentum. 336 total yards for the Chargers, so not bad. It was a bend but don't break type of defense. It was only 181 total pass yards given up and only 155 rush yards. On the other side, offensively, you could tell that Jaden Daniels makes this offense go. 386 total yards of offense, including, once again, over 100 yards of rushing as a team, 163. But Bill Krosky Merritt was the guy in this one. His first career 100-yard rushing game, 111 yards on 14 carries and 2 touchdowns, averaging close to 8 yards per carry. Did Bill Krosky-Merritt in this one? Jayden Daniels also had 39 yards. He now becomes the first player since Cam Newton to have 4,000 career passing yards and 1,000 career rushing yards in his first 20 games starts as a starter. So great job for Daniels to be able to do that. And Debo once again showing that with McLaurin out, he can be wide receiver 1 for this team. 8 catches, 96 yards. He had that touchdown in the fourth quarter when the game was pretty much out of reach. It was just basically to put the exclamation point on it. Luke McCaffrey had 1 catch, but what a freaking catch it was, with the full concentration, with the DB all over him, making the catch and getting down. It was a penalty on the play that was on the defense that was declined. It caused the clock to kind of stop for a little bit, and they were able to get down the field and make the field goal to end the half. But what a game this was. And of course, on the sack totals, Von Miller, who everybody thought washed up, he's past his prime, whatever. Man's had a sack and a half in this one. Jerhan Newton had a sack. Dorrance Armstrong led the team in sacks. He had 2 in this one, and Jacob Martin shared the sack with Von Miller, which made for the 5 sacks that they had in this game. But I think that this team heard all of the rumblings and all the words that came out of not only fans, but pundits and media persons after that Atlanta loss. And they took that and they went out there and went up against a very, very good Los Angeles Chargers team on the road and was able to only give up the 10 points in the first quarter and basically shut them out the rest of the game. Now the focus shifts to Chicago on Monday night, where they got to be able to do what they got to do and slow down what is a very I wouldn't say subpar Chicago Bears team. They've actually been looking pretty good so far this season. The results haven't shown that, but it's not going to be an easy game. Sis said it earlier, it's a trap game. Just like the Atlanta game was a trap game. This is a trap game, and they cannot fall into that trap. Otherwise, they're going to be looking at 3-3 going into a division game.
Yeah, I think this is such an important game to prove that last year's Hail Mary wasn't a fluke, because you know that they've circled this game ever since last year, that they want revenge, and because they know they're on the other bad end of a highlight reel forever, right? So like that they want to show out, and they've got a new coach, and I mean this is a very different Bears team than they were last year, just in the coaching scheme of things, and so we just got to be ready and not imagine, we got to look at it almost like a brand new team. Like we can't look at it as the same team we saw last year, and it'll be interesting to see how we do going forward with them. But yeah, I don't know, it'll be fun. So just as a programming note for next week, for people who don't know, next week hockey starts again, so we'll have hockey talk at 9:00, and then we will do our football segment at our normal time at 10:00. So that'll be exciting because it'll be just as the second half is getting going of the live game, and so we'll get to cover the second half live as a group while we're also watching some playoff. By the way, very quickly that baseball game got tied up, so there's a lot of scoring there in that first inning. It's 3-3 right now in that baseball game between Chicago and Milwaukee. Yeah, just it should be a really fun show next week. I'm excited to get some live football coverage. It's funny, early on in our podcast history, it was very bad luck. In recent history, it's been very good luck. So it'll be interesting to see where this game falls in that. So at least we don't have Jay Gruden as our coach. So that's a good start. But Sith, what other thoughts did you have about this victory? What were your thoughts about that 99-yard touchdown drive? For me, that was like such an incredible statement. And man, Bill is the real deal.
He is. That was a hell of a drive. And it goes back to, this was a mix at first, the cardiac commanders, and then the commanders that are like, okay, we're done giving you cardiac arrest. Now we're just going to get out and show out and just get the job done. And with that 98-yard drive, I'm over here eating some hash browns because I got some Waffle House at halftime. And I'm like, all right, please, for all that is sacred, get out of that end zone because that is a death trap. Oh, got out there very quickly. Then just gradually moved up the field. And I was just like, go, 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 go. You know, it, this is the type of team that we have wanted that might get out the gate early, a little bit tired, but then just gets out there and just goes balls to the wall and just leaves nothing behind, which is exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
I think that, bringing up the 99-yard drive, longest since 2001, I'm like, oh, are we counting inside the end zone?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how can I be
I'm like, really? If we're counting that, okay. If not, then it's a tie because the only logical thing is inside the end zone.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's like technically closer. I just don't know how many inches away. Because I felt like when I first saw it, I actually thought we were getting on the 2 or the 3 to start the drive. Because I thought it, yeah, just a huge momentum shift, for those forced turnovers. And the team talked about it after the game in a lot of interviews, how they just got a lot of energy from that. And coach really said that he believed in his team to come back. He said, I looked up and I saw it was 10-0, but I didn't feel like it was the same as it was the week before. Like, I felt like we had more to give. And just clearly those turnovers were huge. I just hope that it wasn't kind of like a fluke, so to speak. Like, I really want us to see consistency from both the defense, which, has been up and down all season, but also on the offensive side and efficiency too. But man, Jaden makes such a difference for this team. And we're going to bring in Arun now, who I like his new background. And I just, I didn't think that it was going to be such a significant upgrade at the quarterback position, but you can really see how much we lose by not having him out there. Just how much they've got to defend the run. And Arun, what were some of your takeaways on this big victory?
There's one point in the game where Bill was averaging 9 yards per carry, and I think the fumble could have been a momentum shifter, but Washington pulled it out with that goal line stand. Sanders still with the interception. And made up for that first drive of the game where the Chargers got the drive extended by an offsides call on the penalty, and they scored a touchdown. Other than that, the Commanders didn't give up a touchdown. They didn't give up any points in the second through fourth quarter, and I think that was, if you're not going to score more than 10 points, then I don't think, then the Commanders kind of had that in the bag, and the offense definitely helped. Jaden was definitely an upgrade over Mariota. 2 weeks ago, there were some people saying that would the Commanders have won with Jaden Daniels instead of Mariota, but Jaden was showed why he's a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks in the game, especially with that McCaffrey throw that Champ was talking about, and the final play of the game where he was like practicing the dance before with Deebo Samuel in the huddle and threw that TD to Deebo to seal the game, even though the game was essentially over before then.
My dad and I were talking about it live while it was happening because I was in the car and where I was watching on YouTube TV, and it's an interesting call to go there because he said if you miss it there, then all they need is a touchdown and a field goal to tie. But I thought it was really a good move on the road. I don't know, because I just feel like the onside kick is so unlikely in today's world, and you have to go a pretty long distance, from there. But I'll start off with Arun. Did you like the play call, to go for it there, or did you think you just take the points?
I liked it for my fantasy team because I had Jaden Daniels, but other than that, it was like kind of like, I think the game was like they would have to drive further than that. More time would have come off the clock just because they have to drive further. And I kind of think the game was over anyways, even if they kicked a field goal or didn't kick a field goal and just going for it. I think there's a risk that they block the kick and return it for a TD or something. That's probably more likely. So whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah. A ghost just appeared in chat, so I just did our ghost command. It's spooky season live on our channel. But yeah, I don't know. I'll get Sith's thoughts. What was your thoughts when they went for it there? Were you happy with that call?
Sight, yes. Looking back on it when it was there, I was saying take the 3. Our kicker is, on and off. But take the 3, it would still be a 3-score game. It'd still be 3 scores. Take the 3. But he gambled, went ahead, did it. Coach Dan was like, no, we're going to go for it. And it just shows the trust that Dan Quinn has in Jaden Daniels to run this offense to convert on 4th down. It's something that's very key where it comes to coach-player dynamics, especially when it comes to your starting quarterback, is whether or not the coach has the faith in the quarterback to carry the team downfield for a 4th and whatever, as opposed to turning it over to special teams for a field goal and running, a block kick that could be returned for a touchdown and stuff like that. So looking back on it, it just shows the trust that Dan Quinn has in Jaden Daniels to run this offense. It's something that's really, and I'll be very candid. The last time we had a coach that actually had trust within a quarterback, I would have to say is Gibbs 2.0. Because Shanahan really didn't have that trust back and forth where it came to the quarterbacks. Whoever said that Jay Gruden had trust in a quarterback, no, not really, except maybe Alex Smith, until he went down with injury. Riverboat Ron gambled because Riverboat Ron thought he knew best. And then going back even further, Spurrier was fun and gun, which is what he did in Florida and also South Carolina as coach. Schottenheimer depends on which side of the bed you wake up on because of how he was as a coach as opposed to what some of the players wanted. But the last time we had this really good dynamic between coach and quarterback, I think was Gibbs, where the coach had the full confidence in the quarterback to convert on a 4th down as opposed to sending special teams out there.
Yeah. Champ, I'll get your takeaway on it.
What did the young kids say? YOLO? That's what it was. YOLO. Fuck it. You only live once. Why not? I mean, worse it would have happened. They'd have been still deep in their own territory, still needing a touchdown, a field goal to tie. And the way that the defense was playing, it was no guarantee that they was going to get that touchdown and then have to get an onside kick, which they have to declare. So it's not a surprise anymore. And
have there been any converted ones yet since they've had
zero? Zero. So either way, it was still the Commanders' game. It was game over. But just getting that touchdown with Jane moving to his right and just flicking the wrist and Debo just getting there on one-on-one coverage. You can't one-on-one Debo. Because you can't one-on-one Debo. You need safety help with Debo. And it showed right there because on that one-on-one, Jaden put a good throw on a nice little dot and boom, touchdown to seal the deal. I was a fan of it. I loved it. Even if we didn't get it, the game was over. So it didn't matter. But it was just great to just see Debo get in there and just get that touchdown and almost get 100 yards. Receiving, which would have been even better. But either way, I was a fan of it.
Yeah. I'm going to segue into our just crazy week because I do know that I want to get Seth's just quick takeaway from it. I'm going to run through the games. He can pick a game that he wants to talk about, and then we'll let him get out of here, and then I'll get Arun and Champ's thoughts as well. So it started off with that Rams 49ers game that we talked about live, which was really a fun show. So if anyone missed that, go check out the previous episode of Sports on the Hill podcast. I haven't put it on the website yet, but you can get it on YouTube and on the VODs on the Facebook page and Kick and on Twitch. Then the Vikings-Browns, it almost looked like it was going to go the Browns' way, but it didn't. The Vikings came back, and that was the international game. The Giants, I thought were going to beat the Saints, but the Saints finally got one in the win column, and it's just been this quirky season that you can never count anybody out. And talk about quirky, I thought the Dolphins, based on their play the previous week, could do great against the Panthers, and the Panthers have found a way to get their second win of the season when a lot of people were wondering if they'd even get two all year. We got the Colts beating the Raiders. That was to be expected. The Eagles and the Broncos, the Eagles' luck finally ran out. The Broncos finally were able to pick up a victory there. It was a close back and forth game, but I'm happy the Broncos were able to get a win. The Jets and the Cowboys went to be expected. The Jets it. Ravens, Texans, man, the Ravens defense was abysmal, allowing 44 points. Texans, I thought they would lose this game, potentially, but I wanted to believe in the Ravens because I thought 1-4 is a death sentence to their season. Unfortunately, they lost that one. The Seahawks, Buccaneers, Champ and I went back and forth in this game a lot last week. I thought the Buccaneers would win. Champ made some great points, so I went with the Seahawks, but the Buccaneers was able to get that win. The Titans and the Cardinals, the Titans get on the board with a win and a very crazy ending and win that 22-21. Surprising victory for the Commanders. Only 15% of ESPN people picked that we would win that. The Lions beat Cincinnati, to be expected. The Patriots and the Bills. Now the Bills have a loss in their column. We got the Patriots with a big-time road victory, and then that leads us to tonight's game with the Chiefs and the Jaguars. It's still 14-7. But Sith, is there any game, one or two games that you wanted to talk about before we let you go?
I want to talk real quick about, oh boy, Denver, Philadelphia, because I was watching this on Red Zone. Champ and I both have NFL Red Zone, so we're both watching it, talking back and forth about it yesterday. And I was like, Denver might pull this out. I said, I think Philly's luck may have just run out. And it was a very good game overall. And Denver did something and silenced the Eagles, which I thought was really good. But on the other side of the coin of good, I also like the Colts. The Colts, Daniel Jones is proving that he is a capable quarterback. He's a very capable quarterback. So I think the Colts have themselves a quarterback for now that is actually going to be able to drive the offense and actually win games there, which is a good thing. But on the flip side of the coin, I have to shake my head at the New York teams. The Saints are not a good team, but yet the Giants found a way to lose to the Saints. And then, the Jets, they're not that much better. I could see a situation where the Jets and the Giants are fighting each other for the top 4 or 5 positions in the draft. Those teams are just that bad. So you could see your top 5 having both New York teams plus New Orleans in that top 5, because these 3 teams are just not good teams to watch at all. I do have one thing to say, though, and this is revolving around college and Archie Manning, the Manning kid that's in college right now, probably playing for Texas.
Yeah.
If it were any other kid with a different last name, they wouldn't be calling Archie Manning a bust. The reason why they're calling him a bust is because he carries the Manning name. And it reminds me so much of what ESPN did to LeBron James when he was in high school, what Sportsnet and TSN did to Connor McDavid when he was in juniors, building them up, hyping them up so big, so hard, so fast that they don't have time to make a name for themselves. And that is sad. The media needs to be more responsible. Yes, Archie Manning is related to the Manning family, absolutely. But you got to allow the kid to develop on his own, or else guess what? He doesn't have a chance. because he's already being written off. That's why I said if he were any other quarterback with a different last name that didn't have the legacy of the main name, he wouldn't be acting like the ship is falling in Texas right now. It's just sad. The media needs to do better. We need to stop looking for the next Michael Jordan, stop looking for the next LeBron, whatever, the next big thing, because it's not helping these kids out today. They're not getting a fair shot.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to, since I know your time is short, but Seth, let people know what's going on in the basement tonight, and then we'll let you out of here.
Oh, okay, guys. Sith's basement right now. We did the top. We finished up the bottom part of the top 580 songs ranked by Billboard, and this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. numbers 250 to number 201, and in the rant zone, Robbie, you're gonna cringe. The 6 direct-to-video Hellraiser films before the reboot came out, worst to best.
Oh.
And I gotta tell you, there's maybe 2 films, 3 if you're lucky, that I can sit through and be positive about. This is going to be a very bottom heavy ranking and in the rant zone part, because it's like with Revelations, which is the last one that Dimension had, it was made for $300,000. And Pinhead looks atrocious, and there's no voice modulation at all with Pinhead. And the Cenobites look horrible. But on a positive note, at least it's not this shady detective story that we get throughout these 6 films of, oh, this isn't a Hellraiser script, it's a detective story. Quick, let's dust it off. Right in Pinhead over here, and boom, Hellraiser movie. Yeah. I jokingly tell people that for Hellraiser Inferno, Hellraiser Judgment, and a couple of other of these films, they had nothing to do with Hellraiser. They just dusted off an old script, put in the Cenobites and Pinhead, and said, there's your movie. One of the films that's lowly ranked is like the 1990 thriller Flatliners, for God's sake, which is a way better movie.
Yeah. Well, definitely go check that out. I just did the Sith Command, and I also want to thank Tina French for resubscribing for 36 months. If my math is correct, that's nice. 3 whole years of resubs. So I really appreciate that as well. We mod together in a lot of places, and so a good person, and Tina, and a Commanders fan. So congratulations and Victory Monday to you as well. But Sith, thank you so much for your time as always, and we're gonna get into our thoughts on the upcoming week as well. Is there any game before I let you go that you're burning to talk about? I did want to let you have an opportunity if there was.
Let me pull the schedule real quick for next week. Let me take a gander, pull it up here on my Brave browser. Now that I can have that open and run at the same time. Looking at the games, what sticks out to me as another one of these games that is a trap game is actually Thursday Night Football, Philadelphia versus the New York Football Giants. Now, if you're Philadelphia, you cannot go in to East Rutherford and say, we've got this in the bag. You cannot come up from 2 hours and say you've got this one in the bag. If you go in with that attitude, the Giants might come out and pull out a shocker in the Meadowlands. I have the Eagles winning, but if the Eagles don't come in with their head on a swivel, Thursday night could get very, very ugly.
Yeah, it's funny that they've got one on the Thursday Night Football, and the other is gonna, New York team is gonna be over across the pond in England. So it's an interesting matchup. That one I think is going to be an easy win for the Broncos. But it's always sort of a strange thing when you go international. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, Seth, we will go through all the rest of the games. But thank you so much for your time as always.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know that as we move to 10 o'clock, it gets a little bit tougher, but you're always welcome if any Monday at 10 o'clock works for you. So you'll just let us know.
Yeah. Robbie, Champ, Arun. Catch you guys later. Good talking to y'all.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Good night.
All right. I'm going to go to Arun real quickly. I want to get your takeaway. Is there a specific game that you want to talk about from this previous week, a game or two that you want to talk about?
I'll talk about the Sunday night game, Patriots-Bills. I was just impressed by what Drake May was able to do in the closing drive of that game, especially when the Bills blitzed Drake May and he completed that pass to Stephon Diggs, who was getting a little bit of revenge against his former team, even though he was with the Texans in between. But overall, an impressive win for the Patriots, and Mike Vrabel definitely is an upgrade over what their coaching staff was last year. I bet the Titans want him back, at least their fans do. And then I guess we'll talk about the Cardinals blowing it against the Titans. That DeMarcado, even though I don't know if he actually lost the ball before the goal line, it was still a really dumb play by him. And then the Cardinals threw it was like a weird pick/fumble recovery TD that happened by the Titans, and the Titans got, it was an interception thrown by the Titans, and it was still recovered for a TD by the Titans, so that was weird. So a couple miracle plays, and the Cardinals not putting them away, and that was just a weird ending of a game.
For sure. Champ, any games that stood out to you?
Yeah, I watched that Cardinals Titans game, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. But that's not what I want to talk about. Since Tim is not here, because he has to get up early in the morning, as if I don't have to get up early. So I'm going to talk about how his Ravens got curb stomped at home by the Houston freaking Texans. And it just goes to show you why Lamar Jackson is the MVP of that team. Because when he does not play, that team does not go. And it showed right here. Granted, he doesn't play defense. So, yeah, he's not going to be out there stopping him from scoring 44 points. That was crazy. But the fact that they couldn't put up more than 10 points on this team is just proof positive that Lamar makes that team go. And it showed. And then on top of that, they came on their home field and did the Ray Lewis dance on them. That's ultimate disrespect right there. You can't go on their field, do the Ray Lewis gimmick, but when you're beating them up like that, I guess you can. So there you go. So that's one right there. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about was, listen, George Pickens is proving that he is going to be an asset for this Cowboys team. I mean, the catch he made in the end zone with the hand fighting and still making the catch on that long pass from Dak Prescott, unbelievable. The Jets had a chance, but the Cowboys did what they needed to do, and they were able to walk away with the W here. The Jets, man, I don't know what's going on with this team, man. This team is just hopeless. They're freaking hopeless. And I like Aaron Glenn. I think I'm fine. I'm glad that he's getting a chance to be a head coach, but man, is he in the most shittiest of situations being the head coach of the freaking New York freaking Jets, because my goodness, this team is absolutely atrocious. They are atrocious. If they manage to win 3 games this season, I'll be surprised. But this was a game right here where they kept it close, but then the Cowboys just pulled away. So, yeah, those are the two right there. Ravens got curb stomped, and the Cowboys get their get right game after tying the Eagles on Sunday night to get a big victory.
Yeah. I do want to mention that the Jacksonville Jaguars scored a touchdown on that last drive.
T-Law!
So they are tied that game 14-all, but Kansas City has started this drive with a couple of first downs, and so they find themselves on the 44-yard line. An interesting pass back, I guess, on past 50-yard line, and so, but a big time first down for them for sure. And she's asleep. All right. Well, I want to go quickly through this upcoming week, and we got the Eagles and the Giants, and then we got the. Hold on, I gotta get the dog up. She wants to stay. I know. Go. You gotta be meted. Both of my daughters, both my fur daughter and my actual daughter, had to get their meds today. So there we go. So anyway, bye Lily. No, yeah. All right, we got the Eagles and the Giants that we talked about. I think the Eagles are going to win that, but I do understand what you guys were saying about not overlooking it. We got the Broncos and the Jets. I do think the Broncos are going to win that one. We got the Cardinals and the Colts. I'm going to pick the Colts just because I just feel like the Cardinals had an opportunity to win a big game yesterday and they didn't do it. We got the Chargers and the Dolphins. I do think the Chargers use this as a get-right game. And then we got the Browns and the Steelers. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in that one. We got Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. I go with the Cowboys because I'd be shocked if the Panthers can pull that off 3 times in a season, but maybe. I got Jaguars and Seahawks. The Jaguars are pretty good tonight. I know the Seahawks need to win. I don't know. This one goes back and forth. In Jacksonville. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of this one. The Rams and the Ravens. I can't pick for the Ravens anymore until I know. Patriots are going to beat the Saints. I'm going to pick the Raiders in the battle. 2-1-4 teams. We've got Buccaneers and 49ers. We got 2 4-1 teams. Go with Tampa Bay at home. And then we got this afternoon game. I'm going to go with the Packers, Chiefs, and Lions. Ooh, that's a good game. I'm gonna go with the Lions. Assuming the Chiefs win this game. If the Chiefs lose this game against the Jags, I might feel very differently about some of these games. And I might pick the Chiefs because, I don't know. I feel like they're going to go to 3-3. So if they lose tonight, they might win that one at home. But if they win tonight, I think the Lions come in and win that one. They got the Bills and the Falcons. I'm going to go with the Bills. And, the Bears and the Commanders.
Do what you normally do, Robbie. Go ahead.
bet against us?
Yeah, do what you always do. Do it. You want to.
Yeah, because I bet it for us the other day. Remember a couple weeks ago in the Atlanta game? And it did not work for us. So I'm going to do it. 40 to... Oh, wait. It's total points. Let's do 65. All right. So now I've made my picks. Let's talk about it a little bit. But, Champ, what are your takeaway on the Eagles and the Giants?
Jackson Dart really, really has energized this team. Like they did have a really good, really decent showing against the Saints. It's just the Saints wanted a little bit more. I did pick Philly, but I would not be surprised if the Giants were to pull it off at home. But I went with Philly.
Yeah, Arun.
Yeah, I went with Philly just because the Neighbors injury. I picked the Saints actually last week, and I just think losing Neighbors is. I don't think the Giants are that good until they find a good wide receiver replacement.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, we're gonna go the other way around. Arun, what is your takeaway about this Broncos-Jets game?
The Jets gave up 37 points to the Cowboys like the Packers did. I guess I'm favoring the Broncos, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos had a letdown because the Jets have to win 3 games somehow, and this could be one of them. But we'll see. I think right now I'm still picking the Broncos. I'll probably pick against the Jets for a while until they play the Browns.
That makes sense. All right, Champ, what is your takeaway on that one?
I'm going Broncos. Like I just said, I just said it. Like the Jets are horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. And I think the Broncos are so good. Bo Nix, like I said last week, he almost won Rookie of the Year last year. If it wasn't for Jaden Daniels being who he was, I think Bo Nix would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he's still as good as he was last season. So I'm going Broncos.
Yeah. All right. We got Cardinals and Colts. Do you think are you riding the Colts train, Champ?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Arizona, man. That interception they had that turned into a fumble that was recovered in the end zone by the Titans. I think this team is snake bitten, and that's not because they're in Arizona. I just think
we're talking about snake bitten. Sorry, huge. Whoa, is he gonna keep going? He's gonna go all the way. Holy fuck! Holy.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
Oh, Kansas City is on the doorstep looking to score.
Oh, interception!
Yes. And the run
bubbling, stumbling, and as Chris Berman said, and it could go all the way. Touchdown, Jaguars, pick 6. Get fucked, Mahomes. Oh, wait, he's on my fantasy team. Fuck.
Oh, no. 99-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Get fucked.
That very much reminds me of in our game, with but
Jesus
this is even
Christ.
So that's huge because Jacksonville goes from this being a tie game to potentially going down 7 to now being up 7, and Kansas City now has to go the whole length of the field again, but still 2:19 left in the third, so we'll still got a lot to cover in this one. But sorry, that was crazy. Devin Lloyd here, interception right on the goal line, coming out, gets at the 1-yard line, and he just goes. And there was a couple of guys that had opportunities to take angles, and they just didn't. And then
they made business decisions. Don't front. They made business decisions.
Yeah. So
they were like, yeah, no, we ain't getting them.
Arun, what are your takeaway on Colts Cardinals?
Yeah, the Cardinals, maybe they bounce back, but for now I'm just picking the hotter team, the Colts, and the Colts lost their kicker for the season. That affected both my fantasy teams, so just that little note. But other than that, I just think Daniel Jones is playing well. I don't know how long it's going to last, but for now I'm just going to pick the Colts.
Yeah. All right, Arun, we got Chargers and the Dolphins. I assume after last week, the Chargers get used as a get-right game. How do you see it, Arun?
I didn't realize before the game that the Chargers were missing their left and right tackle, and then they had a couple more offensive line injuries in that game. So I'm leaning Chargers, but I think it's going to be a close game. Especially, it's going to be warm in Miami and 84, so that could have an effect on the game.
Credit to Troy on Facebook on Thursday, champ. He mentioned that they had some troubles on the offensive line and asked us if we thought that could be a difference maker. We didn't think it was going to be to the extent that it was, but it definitely
they turned around and got 5 sacks. So it turned out to be a big difference. Holy shit. Way to go, Troy.
Exactly. So, champ, how do you see this game?
I'm going Chargers. Miami... They really showed up against Carolina this week. It's just that Carolina just went down the field, was able to get win the game. But I think Miami's finally turned a corner, even though they don't have Tyreek Hill for the rest of the season. Jalen Waddle is such a good receiver, and Devin Achane is such a difference maker in the pass game as a running back. I think that this is going to be close. I'm leaning Chargers, but I'm going with Arun and saying this is going to be a close one.
Yeah. All right, next one is the Browns and the Steelers, champ. 92% of the people picking the Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Yeah, man, come on now. Don't get me wrong. Dylan Gabriel is making a difference for this team. I mean, they almost had Minnesota. It's just their defense let them down. Otherwise, I think they beat Minnesota in London. But I think the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers still got some magic to him. So,
Kansas City says, hold my beer, and they run it all the way back to the 40. But there is a flag on the play.
Uh-oh.
So we'll see if this is going to come back.
I had a replay, so I wasn't seeing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, nice return. Oh, my. All the way down inside the 40.
Yeah.
What is the flag, though? I want to know the flag. Well, let's talk about this next game while we wait on this flag.
I want to get Arun's take on the Steelers real quick. So,
yeah. Like the Browns, I agreed. Like they could have had a win, but the defense can slow down Carson Wentz, and I think Aaron Rodgers coming off a bye. I think the Steelers are gonna come away with the win.
Yeah. All right, it was a hold. I was correct. Let's see. Let's see the hold on the replay. Yeah, I mean, he kind of tackled him. Just sucks because like he didn't need to. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's usually how those type of holds work. Is like he didn't need to because he was probably on the other side.
he was. Jaguars 21 unanswered points here after falling down 14-0. Mahomes goes to throw, gets a nice first down right there. All right, we're gonna go with Arun, Cowboys and Panthers.
I guess I think the Cowboys are going to keep their momentum going, like back-to-back 37-plus point games, and Carolina's defense isn't that good. Even though Carolina did play well in the second half against Miami, I still think Dallas is going to win.
Yeah, and Champ?
Definitely Dallas. Carolina is starting to show a little bit more, but yeah, everyone said their defense is not going to keep them in a lot of games, so I'm going with Dallas. It pains me to say that, by the way, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, we got the next game is the Seahawks and these Jaguars that we're watching are storming back, just making me go back to I can keep on going back and forth on this one. But Champ, what is your takeaway on that one?
This is another game right here that's going to be really, really fun to watch. I mean, Sam Darnold has been absolutely lighting it on fire these first 5 games for Seattle. He had 4 touchdown passes yesterday in that game against the Bucks, even though they lost. But I think that I'm going with Jacksonville here. See, like Jacksonville is just a scrappy ass team, man, and it seems like defensively they're really starting to show something here. So I'm actually going with Jacksonville on this one.
Arun, what's your takeaway?
I think Seattle is playing really well. They could have easily beaten Tampa Bay, but that being said, given it's a road game, I'm picking the Jaguars, especially traveling from west to east, and they're kind of evenly matched.
Yeah. All right, Arun. Ravens and Rams. Do you think that the Ravens season is done, or do you think that they could get a win here to help salvage it and bring it to 2-4?
I think they have. I think the Rams are playing with less desperation than the Texans because you did mention that the Ravens were going to go 1-4. They didn't want to do that, but the Texans, if they had lost that game, they would have gone to 1-4. But I do think the Rams, they just had like a really bad loss, so I think they'll be playing a little bit angry too. So I'm going to pick the Rams here, and Lamar obviously being out will definitely make me pick the Rams no matter what.
Yeah, Champ, do you agree?
Man, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I hate doing this to the Ravens, honestly, because I think that if Lamar is back, I think the Ravens are going to be a lot more competitive. But I think the Rams, they still got that sour taste in their mouth of losing in overtime off of that bad decision on 4th down. So I think they really want some revenge, and I think the Ravens are going to be the unfortunate victims of their vengeance.
Yeah. All right, we got the Patriots and the Saints, Champ.
I got to go with the Patriots. Drake May and them are just absolutely playing a lot better than they were last season. The Saints got, I wouldn't say lucky, but they found lightning in a bottle with the Giants, but I don't know if they're going to find it with the Patriots. So I'm going with the Patriots.
Yeah. What's your takeaway on that one?
It is like I'm picking the Patriots. It could be a potential letdown because they did get a big win against the Bills. The Patriots did lose to the Raiders earlier in the season, and the Raiders have been pretty terrible as from what we've seen. But for now, the Saints also just got a win last week, and I don't know. It's like I feel like I think the Patriots are more likely to continue their momentum, but the Saints defense, if the defense can play well for the Saints, they can perhaps keep them in the game.
Yeah. All right, we got Titans and Raiders. Arun, what is your takeaway on that one?
I think these might be 2 of the worst teams in the NFL at the moment, especially if Bowers is out. I think this is a coin flip game. Give me the Titans.
Yeah, Tennessee, they lucked into a victory in the desert, but I think they're not going to luck into this one. The Raiders defense is just not that good. I think Cam Ward's going to probably have his best game as a rookie in this game, and I think the Titans get a victory here.
Yeah, I see that as well, especially in Vegas. All right, we got the 49ers and the Buccaneers, a battle of 2 4-1 teams. The 49ers have come on strong these last couple of weeks, and Buccaneers have played well all season. Their only loss, coming against a very good Eagles team. Champ, what is your takeaway on this one?
I'm actually going with San Francisco here, but I think this is going to be one of those dogfight ones, especially if Brock Purdy plays. Hopefully they get some of their offensive weapons back, like Jawan Jennings, that hopefully they get him back. And, of course, CMC is going to be a difference maker regardless of the matchup. But I'm going with San Francisco on the road here to get the W.
Yeah, and Arun?
Yeah, Purdy plays. I'm going with San Francisco because I think Mac Jones suffered an injury last week. But, yeah, give me San Francisco, even though Buccaneers are playing really well right now.
Interesting. All right. That was definitely one to watch. You guys are both picking the road team. We got Packers coming off of that frustrating tie to the Cowboys, and then we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who have really been struggling recently. But Arun, how do you see this game?
I'm going to pick against the Bengals with Browning, even though Jamar Chase had a hell of a game. But I just think the Packers coming off a bye and a disappointing game against the Cowboys, I think they come away with the win. The Packers.
Yeah. So there was a 1st and 19 after a penalty to start the fourth quarter, and man, crazy arm on Patrick Mahomes. He just threw it into the end zone from behind the 50-yard line, and he
that arm strength is crazy. That arm strength is crazy, bro.
Right, and he missed it. It was like 10 yards in front of the guy who full on sprinted from the 50. I don't know. I mean, it's probably good in the sense that he overthrew it because it was well covered and it probably would have been a pick, but that's still wild to me. Anyway, Champ, Packers and Bengals. What are your thoughts?
Jake Browning, you're not that guy, pal. Listen, you're not that guy. It's Packers all day, man. I mean, Jake Brown is not the guy. Even though he has 2 really good receivers in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, he can't seem to find them, though he was able to do so this week. But no, Cincinnati's not winning this one.
Yeah, and then they got to delay a game after that miss. Oh, shit. But one of the Jaguars players got hurt. He's coming up limp. All right, we got Lions and Chiefs that we're watching right now. Champ, what is your thoughts on this one?
I hate to bet against the Lions as good as they've been playing, but the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, even though they're 2-2, and right now they're kind of struggling in this game. But I feel like they're going to find a way to win this one, and I feel like they're going to win against the Lions at home. Arrowhead is a tough place to play at, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah. So Patrick Mahomes showing his arm strength again. Great throw, but he threw it into triple coverage. So
he tried to thread the needle on that one. I don't know what he was thinking.
I mean, it was right on the spot. It was good defense, though. You know what I mean? Like that's
it was on a line. It was on a line, but it was in, like you said, it was in the triple coverage.
Yeah, so that's rough. What do you think about the Chiefs and the Lions game?
It's tough to say because the Lions, they did beat the Ravens on the road, but they have been beating up a couple of these AFC North teams. Actually, 3 AFC North teams in a row, the Browns and the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I don't feel good about it, but I think the Chiefs are just a little bit better at home, even though they're struggling a bit at Jacksonville right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And I kind of feel like what I felt earlier, like if Kansas City wins this game against Jacksonville, they might lose that Lions game, but if they lose it, I just don't see them going to 2-4, but maybe. but it's 4th and 10. They did make a lot of that penalty yardage back up, but they are going to punt it here with 13:57 left here in the game. The punt is away, and it's a fair catch caught at the 12-yard line.
By the way, the injured Jaguar was Travis Hunter.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going to get Arun. What is your takeaway on this Bills-Falcons game?
I think it's just interesting that the Bills are playing another QB from that same draft after losing to Drake May. Then Michael Penix. Let's see what he can do against the Bills. I think the key will be is if the Falcons can contain the Bills like the Patriots did, but I think the Bills will get back on track. Only having 20 points against the Pats is not. I mean, the Pats are improved, but it's not a good look. And I think Cook will have a better time running the ball. But Bijan Robinson, he kind of killed the Commanders, and I think it'll be a good game. But I'm going with the Bills.
What are your thoughts, Champ?
Yeah, I'm going Bills. I like what Atlanta's been doing, but I don't think they're good enough against this Bills team, honestly. So I'm going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see them losing 2 weeks in a row. Okay, the last game we got, Champ. We're previewing the game. We'll talk live and come in on the second half during Bears and Commanders. Who do you got?
You said it earlier on in the podcast. I'm pretty sure Chicago circled this on the calendars after the Hail Mary last year, but Chicago has started to improve. So this is definitely going to be a tough one for the Commanders, but they're at home. It's not going to be a short week because it's a Monday night game. So they got to focus on this one. I'm going Commanders on this one. I think that they will handle business at home against Caleb Williams and the Bears.
Arun, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the Bears had a bye. They did have a great performance against the Cowboys. They struggled against the Raiders, but they came away with the win, so they have 2 wins. And I think the Commanders, the key will be slowing down the run. I don't think DeAndre Swift has been that good this year. Caleb Williams, though, I think he's playing better than he was last year, but I still think the Commanders, even though that Hail Mary play was the Bears are looking back on that, I think the Commanders also have to look back at that game, and they were almost going to lose that game, even though they pretty much outplayed the Bears for most of that game. So I think if they also need to maintain their focus and put the Bears away if they have the chance, like they did against the Chargers.
All right. We are running out of time, but I did want to get quick baseball thoughts in. Arun, have you been watching any of these baseball playoffs?
Yeah, I watched, I guess the Yankees lose 2 games. Though I didn't really watch the blowout, but I just heard that Fried got.
The Yankees have been outscored 23-8 in these 2 games in this series. They are who we thought they were.
And then apparently some Red Sox fans were picking the Blue Jays to win, and I heard Yankees fans getting upset at Josh Allen for wishing the Blue Jays luck, but I guess Josh Allen knew. I guess they shared a home with the Toronto, so I don't really blame him. And but the Blue Jays, if they play a lot better at home, and worst cases they'll have. I think it's best of 5, right? This series. So
yes.
I think they'll have a chance to close it out at home if they don't win one at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it's interesting though because FS1 is supposedly thinking that the Yankees had a lot more to show and this was a fluke. And I know some Canada friends that were watching their thing and they were like, they obviously, and people in Canada really believe in Toronto, but I guess some people in America thought the Yankees, especially based on what we saw in the last round, would do better. And I thought that there's a potential chance for rust, with this format. But man, the Blue Jays bats didn't seem rusty in this one. So good for them. We got the Brewers winning 9-3 in the first game, and they're currently up 4-3 in the middle of the fourth. We got the Phillies losing their first two games to the Dodgers, and then the Tigers and Mariners have split their first two in Seattle. Champ, what are some of your takeaways in some of those other series?
Tigers and Mariners, I expected this one to be a pretty tight one. I mean, the Tigers did their thing against the Guardians to get into this, and they beat the Guardians in the wild card series. It took them the full 3-game series to get to this point, and the Mariners were one of the best teams in the AL with Cal Raleigh, who I'm saying this. I don't give a shit what any Yankees fans are saying. Aaron Judge is the MVP. Fuck out of here. Cal Raleigh has hit 60 home runs in the regular season as a switch hitting catcher. No other catcher has done that. Okay, so he's the MVP, and I think that if he starts to really get going, this Mariners team will go on to the ALCS. When it comes to the Dodgers, one of the key things with them, even though it doesn't show it on the scoreboard, is their pitching, and I think their pitching is going to be what's going to be the difference for them moving on to the NLCS over the Phillies. Though the Phillies have some really big bats with Trey Turner and with Schwarber and with Bryce, so it's interesting that they've been able to win these first 2 games in Philadelphia. So now they go to LA. If they could take at least one of those 2 in LA, they move on to the NLCS. But really good series so far outside of the Blue Jays absolutely dog walking the Yankees. And I can't wait to see who ends up in the LCS coming up later this week and the next week.
For sure.
All those former Nats for the Phillies that you never
Yes.
Brother.
There's so many of it. It was funny. I was at an amusement park all weekend, and I was seeing a lot of former Nationals jerseys that people wearing that were Phillies jerseys. Like Trey Turner was in front of me in line, so I was just like, oh, it hurts. That's still a thing. But
by the way, real quick update, Robbie. T-Law throws a pick. Oops.
Oh no. And it's first and goal, Kansas City, right?
In the red zone, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not good. All right, so a couple of the upcoming games real quickly. We got Game 3 is going to be tomorrow, a 4:05 game between the Tigers and the Mariners. This one's in Detroit. Again, that series is tied 1-1. The first game in New York for the Yankees is going to be an 8:08 game tomorrow. That's going to be their Game 3. And then on Wednesday, the Tigers play the Mariners in their Game 4. Cubs and Brewers will play their Game 3. And then, so that's the 3 and the 5 o'clock game. The 7 o'clock game will be the second
touchdown
game.
Chiefs.
Oh yeah, Kareem Hunt, rushing touchdown. So the Yankees game will be on Wednesday, and then Game 3 for the Phillies and Dodgers on Wednesday, and then the series will continue on Thursday, Friday, and then, if necessary, on Saturday. So. Friday and Saturday games are the Game 5s if needed. So we'll see how many are needed, and we'll talk about those as part of our special next week. It'll be a very busy show. Again, first hour will be hockey talk. Second hour will be football talk as well. The second half of the live game, we'll sprinkle in some playoff coverage. And there'll definitely be some games on Monday live to talk about as well. So yeah, it should be a fun show next week. Arun, any takeaways from baseball or football, or do you want to talk about the RG3 news before you get out of here?
I saw that there was a car crash and another quarterback with a car incident. The more famous quarterback had a car incident, and he's safe and sound, and he's a law-abiding citizen. So shout out to RG3 for not doing anything stupid like some other former Washington quarterbacks. He was there for half a season, and somehow he became more controversial than Colin Kaepernick. So shout out to RG3.
Hey, Mark Sanchez, Mr. Buff Fumble, how do you get stabbed and get charged with a felony? Please explain. That needs to be studied. I don't care what that needs to be studied. That this man gets stabbed, ends up in a hospital in town for the Indianapolis game to be an analyst, and ends up getting a felony.
And do you hear that some of the charges they're actually charging Fox with not controlling their broadcaster? They're trying to bring Fox into this. I'm like, how? Like, that is the craziest. Like, first of all, Mark shouldn't be getting so drunk that he's like going into random cars and stabbing people. But I don't know how that's Fox's fault, but like, you don't have to babysit your, like, how do you even assume that one of your broadcasters is going to stab somebody? Like, it's beyond me. So, but I don't know how Fox is liable, but that's a crazy story, for sure. All right, Irene, any last thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah, so Jaden Daniels had his third 20-point comeback that tied Jason Campbell. Do you know who has more 10-point comebacks? Sorry. Do you know who has more 10-point comebacks since 2000?
Let me guess.
RG3. It's not RG3.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
I don't know.
It's Tony Banks with the Marty Schottenheimer year. He had four 10-point comebacks. So Jason Campbell had 3, and I guess RG3 was always playing ahead. So there we go.
I don't think I realized. So wait, the Bills Falcons game, that's also Monday Night Football. So there's 2 Monday Night Football games next week.
Yes.
Holy moly! I don't have enough TVs, so I'm gonna have to watch 2 football games and a baseball game. That playoff.
I'm only watching the Commanders game. I give a shit about the Falcons game. I'm only watching the Commanders game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just didn't realize that until they just showed that graphic. So the game is tied 21 all, 12-13 left in the fourth quarter in this live game. But Arun, I appreciate it. I know you haven't been under the weather the last couple of weeks. I appreciate you taking the time and joining us again, and hope that you continue to feel better. And if you're feeling up to it, you're always welcome to be a part of this broadcast next week in the man cave or at home to cover the football game. But I appreciate you making the time.
Sure, thanks for having me on, and I might, maybe not next Monday, but I'll definitely come over to play some Switch sometime.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely need to get you back over to the man cave to game it up. That's actually a good segue for people that don't know why there's a Pikachu behind me. 10 days from today, we're doing a special on my channel. It'll be on the Twitch channel, Kick, and YouTube. Also on my personal Facebook, on the Sports one. We'll be doing 2 streams on the 16th. One in the morning for me to do a test stream for video games as the new Pokemon game comes out. But I promised Zach I wouldn't get too far in it. And then I'll be doing an art stream where we're going to be making new merch that we haven't done in a while. It's going to be our new District of Champions merch. This is the old one over here. That will include all of the champions and celebrate 10 seasons. So it'll be a District of Champions 10th season special edition merch. We'll design a couple of different graphics and things like that on air. And if you want to join that'll be a Thursday morning stream, an art stream. We'll do a little game testing for the first 30 minutes. That'll be from I don't know, let's say 9:30-ish to 10. Maybe 10 to 10:30, and then after that we'll do art for the last 90 minutes and then be done by noon. And then I'll come back. Hopefully my daughter won't destroy the setup in between, and I'll come back with my son at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sometime around there, and he and I are going to play the new Pokemon game for the first 2 hours of that before he has to go to bed. So that'll be, I think, from 4:30 to 6:30 on that day. So times to be determined, but they'll both be on the 16th. So if you're into Pokemon and if you want to be a part of the art stream, again, a morning art stream and testing some of the features of the game, and then afternoon will be 2 hours of gaming with my son. So he really loved doing that with the Donkey Kong a couple months back, and so I promised him we would just do it at least one more time. He's been doing really well in school, so I said that we would do that. So stay tuned on the 16th for that. I know that Arun does some gaming streams too. I did the Arun command. You can go check him out at A2TheRon over on Twitch. And by the way, Arun, I don't know if you saw, but our friend Ace was loving you on the show tonight, and he was participating in chat as well. So he was celebrating when he saw you appear. For people that don't know, Arun and Ace were in a carpool together many moons ago. So
yeah, so just like RG3, we were in a car crash together.
Oh no, I didn't. I don't even know if I know that, but
That was the first day of carpool, and some guy swerved into. Everyone was safe, but we're just like RG3. We're all RG3.
we're all RG3 here. All right, Arun. Well, I appreciate the time as always, and we're gonna let you go on that note. And but Champ, quick little wrestling news before we get into our hockey talk segment.
Absolutely. So on this episode of Raw that happened tonight from Dallas, they just made another match, as Sif mentioned earlier on. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus Big Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight at Crown Jewel Perth. And they continued the story with Io Sky. She's going to be teaming with Rhea Ripley to take on the Kabuki Warriors at Crown Jewel in Perth. So they basically, added on some more, like advanced some more storylines when it came to Crown Jewel and Perth, which is going to have a special airtime on the ESPN streaming app of 8 a.m. Eastern time on the streaming app. Or if you have a VPN like Sif does, I actually have a VPN on my phone now, where you can watch it internationally on Netflix. So there's that going on, and then of course. Tomorrow night, it is NXT TNA Showdown, where there's going to be a lot of matches of NXT versus TNA, 2 Survivor Series style matches, 1 for the men, 1 for the women, plus the Hardys are going to be defending the TNA World Tag Team titles against Dark State, who are defending the NXT Tag Team titles as winner take all. You're going to see Mustafa Ali finally get his opportunity at the North American title against Ethan Page. It's going to be a lot going on as TNA is getting ready for their big event, Bound for Glory, which is this Sunday, which is going to see Mike Santana challenge Trick Williams in the main event for the TNA World Championship. So there's a lot going on over in Japan. You have the continuation of the road to King of Pro Wrestling. Matter of fact, they actually had an event this morning, which I need to go and watch. It was at Corcoran Hall. Is to continue, and King of Pro Wrestling will be next Monday, from Ryogoku Sumo Hall, which the main event is going to be Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP World Championship against AEW's Konosuke Takeshita, who won the G1 this past summer. And so that's going to be a big event going on next Monday with a special start time of 6 p.m. Japanese time, which is going to be, I believe, 4 a.m. here or 5 a.m. here in the United States. But it should be a good week of wrestling with a couple big events coming up and everything like that. And you can keep track of all that by listening to the No Spots podcast. The audio of episode 303 will be up sometime tomorrow. So make sure you check it out on Spotify, Amazon Music, and on Apple Podcasts. We talk about No Mercy, which just happened. And in this coming week, we're going to be talking about Perth and Crown Jewel as well as Bound for Glory and all that good stuff. So make sure you check us out. Kick and Twitch at True No Spots Pod and Facebook.com/No Spots Pod.
And I feel really bad. We had a raid of 34 people, and I totally didn't even see it. And I'm so sorry. I love Firestone Rocks Drums. I'm a big fan of Scott's. But thank you, Cindy and Tina, for joining us and coming over, and Fabi Martin as well for saying hi. I'm sorry. I was so into the conversation with Arun, I wasn't even looking at chat. But definitely go check out. I know that the bot did give it a shout out, but Firestone Rocks Drum is great. And just highly recommend it. I'm a mod over there. I'll do the Who Is commands for people who maybe missed it. Poor Scott. I know he's a big Yankees fan and their team is down.
Where's Gil? I'm waiting for him to give me a bad joke. I haven't heard a bad joke from here in months. Where's Gil?
All right, let's bring in Gil and C4. We can do like a crossover, as they call it.
I never get to crossover with. I usually crossover with these guys. But I'm coming in on the back end.
There you go. We'll bring the team in for people that don't know. We're gonna have hockey talk starting again next week, and did that command wrong. Sorry. So we'll start off with 9 o'clock with our hockey team. We got Gil and C4 staying up extra late with us tonight. Then we'll do a switcheroo next week. Anna is not going to be on until November. She's got a marching band. She's not in a marching band, but she's rooting on a marching band. So we'll bring them in. But Gil, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good. Champ, asking ye shall receive. We are into Caps talk today. Training camp just ended, and you got a lot of rookies. Well, they're trying to get into the big show, and it's the final cut.
On that note, I was waiting for that. That's why I stayed on here, because I was waiting for that. I can't wait to hear y'all talk about this team. This team has looked really good in the preseason. I'm really excited about what they have to offer this upcoming season. They were really good last season, and it looks like they didn't lose a lot of pieces. So I think I have high expectations, but I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on it.
Well, Champ, appreciate it as always. We'll definitely have a big game next week against the Bears to talk about live, and
hopefully this guy's back. Hopefully he's back.
Yes, exactly. So awesome. All right, Champ. We'll talk to you soon.
Gokigenyo. Sayonara.
All right, C4. It's good to see you. It's been a while. How are you doing? Oh, I think you're double muted, maybe. All right. Well, while you figure that out, I'm going to talk to Gil. I know, Gil, you didn't do a podcast this week to preview the season, and this is going to be kind of our. But you did do a little video on your channel to give a little highlights. You guys are going to be starting to record this upcoming week, right? That'll be your first episode of the new season.
Yes, our first episode records this Friday evening, a little after 5. Hit us up on our Facebook page. We are going to, if you are interested in joining us as we record live per se, we will hook you up with the communication information to do just that. Got 1 or 2 people who have expressed interest in doing that. So, yeah, going to open it up that way. Going to have a C4 on with me along with Jenny Clausen. And as you mentioned, Anna will not be available until November, and it's going to be a big episode. And the reason we're doing it such an unusual time is because the NHL has once again decided to screw the Capitals in their half-assed idea of scheduling. They've scheduled the home opener, or the season opener, of course, this coming Wednesday evening, and then they don't have another game until Saturday, and then 24 hours later they have another game. So that not even a week has gone by, and they're already stuck with a back-to-back. And of course, we usually record on the weekends, so that pretty much threw my plans out the window. So hence why we are recording Friday evening for the first episode, which we will cover the first game, which, by the way, part 1 of my 2-part big announcement. If you haven't seen my video, Mrs. Blue Liner and I will be attending that very first game live and in person. Not sure if we're going to make the red carpet or not. It's going to depend on how soon we can get there. But yes, we will be there live to see it all.
Yes, I hope that you take lots of video, and then we'll create our Dropbox again, and then maybe next week in our opening segment we can show some footage from the game. We did lose to Boston last week. We'll talk about that one. Tim was actually at that game. I hope that gets us a little bit angry enough to take it to Boston and get a big time victory on that one. C4, is your mic working now, do you think?
I don't know.
Oh, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I unplugged the headphones and I'm just using the computer mic. So
there you go.
It's okay. So anyway, I'm doing well. Cross country season is nearly half over. We're entering championship season next week. Our girls have 2 wins and 2 top 10 finishes. And I expect we should win our meet on Thursday, and then CMCs, which is like our division sort of thing. It's like all the Washington County and Frederick County schools. I think we'll do well there. Counties, we should do pretty well. Regionals, if we finish in the top 4, the whole team my top 7 girls get to go to state. I told the girls for every girl that gets to state, I'm going to get an orange streak in my hair.
Nice.
So, and I have someone lined up to do that for me. I am not going to do it myself. And for the record, Marcus and I will be in Atlanta Monday night at that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting drive. It's a 10-hour drive. We're driving down there.
Yeah. So I guess you will not be on next week's episode of.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you can
I
be
will not be
live
here next week.
You can
But I
live
will
on
be on
Zoom
Gil's
show
episode.
what's going on at one of the 2 games. So
Yeah. Do live
but-
stream.
exactly.
But I will be on with Gil on Friday night, so I'm looking forward to that. And
Nice.
actually, I don't think I've actually met Jenny, so it'll be nice to talk with her. I've heard her, and she's very good, and I really enjoy her. So it'll be nice to have that interaction as well. So I'm very excited.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, no, she's been great on the podcast. For people that don't know, I'm going to do the Gil command, and it's in Power Play Point podcast. You can obviously talk. Do you still talk to people on the Twitter on the Blue Liner 98 over there on the X?
Oh yes, I've taken something of a semi hiatus from Twitter because things kind of ramped down in the summer. But yeah, bringing it back up, following the 2 main reporters, Sammy Silber of the Hockey News and Bailey Johnson of the Washington Post, come up with some great information. A lot of valuable Caps information comes out of Twitter. So yeah, I'm still active there. It's sometimes it's like wading through a sewer, but to be honest, yeah, I'm still very much active there.
Yeah, so you can go check him
I
out there.
avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, I did too, but I do know there is some value there for Hockey Talk. Also, if you can see the commands I put there, but if you click the first link, you can see the Power Play Point podcast link, and if you can also go to sportsothp.com and click the podcast partners button, you can always click the Power Play Point podcast there. And there's also a Facebook group, so there's also a link in chat for that right now, and all the links can be found if they click on Team SportsOTHP on sportsothp.com. You can get all the links from Gil and Anna for all their different sources and to talk to them about hockey. But that Facebook group is a great place. Some of the main Facebook groups are a little bit tough sometimes, but I really love theirs. It's kind of like this oasis away from the typical Facebook Caps fandom, and so we've carved out. I'm a moderator over there, so I help them out. But it's a fun group, and I really appreciate the conversations that we have, and I'm excited for hockey to start. I do want to start with on a little bit of a sour note. I ranted a little bit about it last week, but I know that the Caps fans probably weren't tuning into last week's show. I'm pretty pissed at Monumental, and I'm pretty pissed at YouTube TV because I moved to YouTube TV to get Monumental, and I already had conceded that I don't get baseball in the summer, and that was okay as long as I got Monumental. Now I don't. And so I don't really know what to do. I don't know if I want to give Ted more money because it seems like a money grab. Because if he ups the charge to these other companies and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't pay that additional fee. Oh, no, now everyone has to move to Ted's platform, right? So, like, I don't. He says that he did it in good faith and they didn't come back, but it's hard to believe that 2 major companies don't even negotiate, right? Like, and it's.
Yeah.
Disney and Google, I mean, they negotiate with people all over the world. Why would they?
Annoys me the most about that is, Ted is actually a pretty good businessman. I mean, yeah, he wants to make money, but he actually, in theory, would make more money partnering with these guys than he would on his own. Now I do have Monumental because I have DirecTV Stream, and I mean, yeah, I maybe watch a third of the channels, but I also got, I've got NHL Network, but I also have included in my DirecTV stream now is Hulu, ESPN, Disney. All that is now at no extra cost to me in my DirecTV stream. So I can cancel those subscriptions, activate them through DirecTV. And I pay, I mean, if I want the the full on ESPN so I can watch the wrestling and the PLEs and all that. I think that's an extra $30 a month, but the rest of it's still included. So I got to dig into that a little more and see if I can get that activated. I'm afraid to kind of do it myself, so I might go to the store and have the guy do it for me. I'm not that tech savvy. I know enough to get myself in trouble, but not enough to get myself out.
Yeah,
But yeah, that just
it just puts a sour taste in my mouth going into the season. I don't want to. I want to be like pro and excited about it and all, but I've honestly missed the last preseason game because of this, and so that's a bummer. And I was talking before about it last week. I think it's just going to increase piracy. It's going to increase people sharing logins because I think that one of these companies is going to cave at some point, right? So am I going to rush out week one of this dispute to, pay Ted a lot of money? I don't know. And I like how at the game they were like, Tim was telling me this at the game. They were like, because we feel so bad for you, we're giving you 20% off. So it's 170 for the year. I'm like, do you really feel that bad? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. So, and Champ is saying C4 is correct that it's $30 a month for the WWE PLEs on top of it. So, it's just such a money grab by all of it. Part of me wants to get rid of YouTube TV and just do streaming at that point.
I mean, if you look at it, it's only $14 a month, but still.
But no, if you don't do the monthly one, it's $20. Or if you don't do the yearly one.
Yeah, if you don't do the yearly, it's 20, right? Yeah.
And I don't know if there's enough summer offerings to do all year round. Yeah, so like,
right.
Yeah, so unless maybe they get baseball, and then there's a different conversation if they get the Nationals. But I don't know. It's just it's a bummer. It's a bummer that we got to talk about it, especially on what's going into Ovechkin's last year on this contract, which is a kind of a segue for Gil. Do you think this is going to be Ovi's last year going into it? What's your gut going into it?
Okay. My actual gut on this whole thing is it may well be his last year, and he's kind of hinting that it's not because he doesn't want a farewell tour. He doesn't want all that fanfare. I think that's why. That's what my gut's telling me, is that he's going through this. Oh, I feel good. I can play another year, maybe 2 years, maybe get 1,000 goals. I think that's kind of a bit of a bluster, thing on his part, because he really does want to retire, and he just kind of wants to fade out quietly. He doesn't want this big,
It's so interesting that you think that, because I kind of think the exact same thing as you do, but it's such a dichotomy to who he was early in his career, right? With the hot stick and always, being exciting, and right, there was all that talk that it was very. I never felt that about him, but there was a talk around him that he liked to, showboat a little bit, So like, and not that I was upset about it, but like, it's interesting that he doesn't want a farewell tour.
I mean, he's got a lot going on right now in his life now. The kids are getting older, his wife, everything going on at home. So I think he just wants to focus on hockey. I mean, his focus now is hockey. Now, whether it's actually his last year or not, I'm inclined to think it is, but there's also a part of me that thinks it depends on how close we get to the cup this year. If we do better than last year, he may push himself to play another year to try and get the cup next year. But to be frank, I don't think we're going to win the cup for at least another, maybe we're not going to win it this year, maybe not even next year, possibly the following year, but doubtful still. So it's still going to be a few years before we hoist the cup, but we're going to get closer every year as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'm also inclined, there's so much other stuff going on. He just wants to focus on playing hockey, and he's had so much pressure on him the last couple of years with getting close to the record and you know, this and that and the other. And now all that stuff is done. Just let the man play hockey and finish his career the way he wants to do it. Don't worry about 1,000 goals. Don't worry about, you know, going out with the cup, blah, blah, blah. Just let the man play hockey. And that's, I think, what he wants. I think he just wants to play hockey with no pressure, no distractions. Just let me play the game.
I think if he's healthy though, and he scores, let's say, upwards of 25 goals, he'd probably think about doing another season though, right? Like, I think if he's below 20 goals and he's getting injured, I think it's a pretty easy way to be like, I think that it's time to hang it up.
There's also talk he wants to play a year in Russia,
But I feel like he could do that on one leg. Right, I mean, he's just sort of walking through the motions in my mind of that. Like, how he's going to be a superstar no matter what he does there, right? And it's such an easier league in comparison that it's just, for me, I don't know. If I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Gil?
That's always been the plan to actual finish his on ice career in Russia. I don't doubt that's still in the plan somewhere. But yeah, I think Cheryl's right. I mean, it's older and wiser and all that, and maybe he's what in the end, what does he have left to prove? He's got the record. That's the doubters are all silenced forever. As far as that, he's got his cup. I think he would like another. That's probably if anything's going to keep him going, it's the shot at the cup. But again, like Cheryl said, I think we're still a little too far away for one more year to be within that range. But then again, who knows? We could Caps could make the final, and if that gets the juices flowing, if that gets the hunger in him going again, then who knows? So yeah, that's what we're going to have to watch out for.
I'm going to take a little bit of break and cover the end of this football game just a little bit, because Kansas City did just score and made it 28-24. We got 108 left. Trevor Lawrence is running for his life right now as they blitz it. They still got 2 timeouts left. I think that they got to use one of them here to regroup because it's going to be 3rd down. So they came with the blitz. They've got 1 minute left. An exciting game. They do have to score a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence has 8 game-winning touchdown drives in the last quarter or overtime over his 5 seasons, including 1 already this season. So we see if we get a little bit more of that Trevor Lawrence magic left in him. But in my mind, he's got to throw these balls away and save these timeouts. But it's just tough for that. Gil, while they're trying to figure out what the next play is going to be, can you talk a little bit about your thoughts on the preseason for the Capitals?
Yes, I saw all 6 games. Quite a few of them I didn't like, even though they won most of them. Quite a few I did like. Yeah, I liked what I saw in the last game. I have very much liked what I have seen in Ryan Leonard. I think he is beyond ready. He's overripe. I think he's pumped and ready for a full season at the big level. I think they made all the right decisions as far as who made the team and who went to Hershey and who went elsewhere and all that. I think they made a lot of good choices there. Bit unexpected with the injuries to the defensemen. So there's the contingency plan for that. Going to keep the nine of them for now. So technically they've got, I think it's 24 that they have instead of the 23, but you're not allowed to waive an injured player. And McElrath, I think, might have been earmarked for getting sent back down to Hershey. In a weird way, his injury in the last game saved him from that. But like my Mrs. Blue Liner raised the point of what happens in 2 weeks when everybody heals up and you got to make the decision all over again to send who down, and that's going to be interesting because Vince Iorio has also made the team for now. And that might get a little dicey because I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's not waiver exempt anymore. So what they went through with Clay Stevenson, where they rolled the dice and hoped that no team picked him up, they're going to have to do all over again with Iorio. I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So two huge plays by Kansas City. One got them to the 40 and the other got them to the 20. Big throw on a third down on that first one, and then another first down throw. On the first down here with like a little over 40 seconds, the ball was tipped, but it went off of the body of number 5, I think. So incomplete. Second down. Again, they're on like the 11-yard line, so they're knocking right here. They have to get a touchdown because they're down 4 points here. But the injury situation is going to be interesting, especially like it was easy to send somebody down to waivers right now because every team has to slim down, and so it's hard to pull players from other teams at this point, unless you really were sure that he fit your system. And I think that it's a good time to send a player down in some ways, Gil. It's just because a lot of teams all are shrinking down, so they're not factoring other teams into that equation, where the Iorio situation might be a more of a problem because in a couple of weeks they know what they've got, and so people are looking at the waiver wire a little bit more in those sort of situations. So I'm interested to see how that is a factor. All right, here, 2nd and 15. They didn't get the ball off in time. Some bad tackling there. The clock is going. It's 3rd down. They used their last time out. Looks like they're going to. Yeah, they do. So 38 seconds left. 3rd down. And the Jaguars are knocking at the door. They do have 2 chances at it here, right? Because they have time. And you want to make the right thing. So interesting. Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence both led their team in rushing yards today. They both have a rushing touchdown. They both have a thrown a touchdown and an interception in this game. So it's been pretty evenly matched throughout. Again, if you're just tuning in, Kansas City was up to 14-0. Then Jaguars storm all the way back, take a 21-14 lead. Kansas City ties it 21-all. Jags go up 24-21, and then Kansas City takes a 28-24 lead. Just a few minutes ago, right on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Here, step back. He's going to pass it, and it's in the end zone. Oh, it's off of the arms, and then it's intercepted. But I think, are they going to call it offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference? Big call here late in this 4th quarter. And so, because it was picked off, is it going to pass interference on the defense? The ball will be spotted at the 1-yard line. 1st down, 30 seconds left in this game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just pulled it up on my I pulled up the widget on the other screen. So I keep
They were so excited to get the thing, but he didn't look back, and then he realized that there's a penalty. He was so excited about the interception, but all right. Sorry, we got just a couple more seconds here at the 1st and goal. Oh, Trevor Lawrence trips. Oh, is he going to get in? Oh, my God, he falls, but he isn't touched, and then he dives into the end zone for the touchdown himself. Wow, what a heads-up play, because if he gets touched, like, there's only 23 seconds left. Oh, there's a flag. There's a flag. Is it taunting? Is it?
Oh, no, there's a flag.
Oh, the yellow hanky.
Wow. What's the call? Holding on the Chiefs. The penalty is declined. They take a 30-28 lead with an extra point coming.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left.
Mr. Swift, as I call him, seems upset. I'm still on record thinking he should take your name. What a great football name, Gil. Mr. Swift, right? Especially if it was the last season and he could sell the jersey.
You're not wrong.
He owns the rights to a company that can sell NFL merchandise. Imagine if in his last season he had Travis Swift jerseys that people could buy from him. It was like be $1 billion. All those Swifties would buy one.
Yeah.
It's like printing money. Take your name. Make all the liberals pissed off. Anyway, or the conservatives pissed off.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left for Mahomes to work with, so, and they still have all their timeouts. So
You really think so? Oh my goodness! All right, I like C4's thinking just because that would be exciting. And they also only need a field goal to tie it. But I don't know.
One good run back, and maybe 2 plays.
Yeah, and these new rules are really aid the run back. So it'll be interesting. I bet they kick it out the end zone and just take it at the 40 and take your chances.
Oof.
That's what I would do. I know it seems. Oh no, it's you get it at the 35, but I don't know.
Yeah, but we're talking Mahomes here.
Yeah,
so he's done more in less time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I watched him throw it. We were just talking a little bit earlier. He threw it from the 45-yard line into the red zone.
Man's got a cannon, so as long as the receivers are.
Oh, they made it very returnable. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he makes somebody miss. Oh, he gets down there. I think they're at the 35-yard line. Ooh, but there's a flag. That could really hurt Kansas City if this is a hold and they have to come back. Let's see what the call is here. There's also only 16 seconds left. Oh, it is a hold. Yikes. This makes it significantly harder. But we're going to keep it here. I know that this is the hockey segment. It's just such an exciting ending to this football game. But then I do definitely want to get your guys' thoughts going into these upcoming 3 games that we'll break down coming up this week. I'm also excited because Gil has some other news. He sent me a link that I'll be sharing. I assume I'm supposed to share that link with the chat when that announcement comes out.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
All right, so here we go. It's a go route. They're sending trips wide right. Oh, there's a man in motion, then back to trips wide right. Low snap. Mahomes is cocking it back and throwing it, and quadruple teamed in that part of the zone. They knock it down.
Damn, you're intercepted.
Yeah, leaves it with 9 seconds. So they got to be smart with it here. You kind of got to go maybe 45 yards and out of bounds.
Gonna have to do a wheel. Yeah, gonna have to do a wheel route, something like that, where it's a long gain and the guy can get out of bounds.
Oh, they put 2 seconds left on the clock, so 10 seconds. That 2 seconds might make a difference in being able to get out of bounds. We'll see here. Mahomes is shifting the line. They're starting again at the 18-yard line here. Again, they need a field goal to tie. Mahomes throws it. What was that? It was behind the guy. But I don't even know why that was. Why is that the play?
That made no sense.
Like, the guy's not coming out of his break, but even if he catches that, like, that's not far enough. And he's in the middle. I know you got time out, so I don't know if that's enough time to then get another play and get out of bounds.
He might as well, if the idea was to stop the clock, he might as well have just grounded it.
No, it was the clock was stopped before the play.
Okay, so that's right. So yeah, that made absolutely no sense.
My thing on my screen is faster than what you're seeing, so.
Okay.
Why get it to the 30? I guess they're going to try to do the Hail Mary? I don't know.
Okay, so your Mr. Swift takes it to the 30 with 2 seconds left.
I love it. Kansas City timeout. Kind of nice to see.
And they're still trying to figure out that previous play.
I love how they're not even analyzing the catch. They're just like, this is the really, because if the first play was a smart play, the second play makes more sense. But like now, it's just a Hail Mary.
They took another timeout. So they've taken 2 timeouts in a row now.
Oh yeah. Now you're ahead of me, C4. How did that happen?
I'm on the other screen on my computer. It's just showing me the play-by-play.
Got it.
I can't. I mean, it's not. I don't actually have the game on. It's just.
Oh, got it. That makes sense. There you go.
You know, like the game day on your phone for the baseball.
Yeah.
What's the score of that game? Still? Brewers still up 7-3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, the Bruins are playing today?
Brewers.
The Brewers.
Oh.
Milwaukee is up 7-3.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh, delay a game. Okay.
Oh, they got the delay game instead of the timeout. Interesting.
Yeah, I came in right as you guys were finishing up about the Yankees. It's like, no. Boom, put Weaver in.
All right, here we go. The
That's all
long
I'm gonna
bomb
say.
throw.
Nothing.
It's over.
Yep. Incomplete, intended for Hollywood Brown. That's it. Done.
Damn, I wish I had picked the Jags. I still think Kansas City is going to need a bounce back game at home now. It's going to be an interesting matchup next year. 5-yard penalty for calling back-to-back timeouts. Thank you, champ. Yeah, because you can't call 2 timeouts in a row for the same team.
Yeah, they called it a delay a game on the little widget thing.
Yeah, got it. Good for the Jags, 4-1. Kansas City down to 2-3 now. Crazy. All right, we'll go back into talking some hockey. I know that Boston game was disappointing. That preseason game, the Columbus, they did much better. Gil, sorry.
Bless you.
There you go. What are your thoughts on going to this Boston game? Because since you're going to be at the game.
I think that this team's ready. I like their chances against Boston. Boston is not supposed to do too well, and I'm being extremely polite. I don't know why, because I don't like Boston a whole lot. But yeah, if the Caps don't win this game Wednesday night, I will be very surprised. Because like I mentioned, Ryan Leonard is more than ready to step up and show everybody what he can do. I think they've got, they were firing on all cylinders the last game. Surprised it wasn't more goals, but what I did really like when I saw that last game was the way they clamped down more on defense. I was kind of worried because there wasn't too much attention to that, but I guess you can kind of chalk that up to a lot of guys, still left on the roster trying to, show what they can do versus play a 200-foot game. But now that everything's solidified and you know who you're going to play with, I think you're going to see a lot more organized play. I'd be very surprised if they didn't come out with the win. I think it's going to be a very good game.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was Trevor Lawrence's birthday. He had that big comeback there to take that lead. Second quarterback to win a Monday Night Football game on his birthday. So congratulations to him. So that's kind of exciting. And also, Champ was saying it was the first win for the Jags over the Chiefs since 2009. It was an 8-game losing streak to them. So, so
that sounds familiar.
Right. So...
I'm a Ravens fan, by the way.
Oh no, yeah. I'm sorry. It's been a rough season.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Talk about going to hell in a purple basket.
Yeah. Oof. It was. I'm kind of happy I was at an amusement park and I didn't watch that game. But
I don't have a favorite football team. I just kind of watch them all.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. All right. C4, what are your thoughts on playing Boston?
Again, I agree with Gil. There's no reason we shouldn't win this game, especially now that, like you said, the lines are starting to get solidified. Guys know who they're playing with. And Boston, again, is not slated to do very well this year. They haven't I mean, they made some moves in the offseason, but I don't think anything significant enough that will bring them higher up in the ranks than they were last year. I still think the Penguins are probably going to be worse, but we'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited about this team. My favorite line that I saw in practice, I don't know if they were actually on together in any of the preseason, was the PLD line.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see a lot of experimenting with line combinations the first few weeks of the season. So they may make an appearance. So it's what I like to call the PLPLD line, because it's Protus, Leonard, and Dubois,
right?
Which PLD also, of course, happens to spell out Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Of course.
So, which is
That's my
appropriate.
next jersey. Is Dubois.
He's the center. So I'd like to see more of that line, but for the majority of the preseason, I think a good chunk of this coming season, you're going to see Dubois centering McMichael on the other wing, and another wing du jour, I guess. Although you could also see McMichael centering the third line. I think that's going to be the key to this season. Is I don't think teams are going to know what to expect with this team, and the lovely so-called pundits already have the Caps taking something of a giant step back. Nobody's saying
they also predicted last year.
Yeah, nobody's saying they're going to miss the playoffs outright, but a lot of them are saying it's going to be dicey that they even make the playoffs already.
I think we'll make the playoffs. I think we're going to have a harder road than we did last year, but I think we're going to make the playoffs. I'm just, my only thing is I heard Miro made the squad, and it's like, dude, you better step up.
They actually
he did not.
They actually loaned him back to Hershey. He was the big show final cut, as it were.
He just, we had such high hopes for him. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think we've seen the last. I don't think we've seen the last of him. I really don't.
No. I don't think we have. I think there's just something missing in his game right now.
There is, and that's hence why he needs more time in Hershey to get that.
Yeah, it's interesting because he has all of the tools to be great, but there's something that he's too good for the AHL, but not quite at the NHL level yet, right? So like he's in that awkward in between.
Yeah, there's times he reminds me a little of Alexander Semin.
Yeah, it's funny. I think similarly, although Alexander Semin right off the bat, I think had it. Like I know that he took some stupid stick penalties, but the confidence in my mind was there. Where I don't know if Miro has it yet, to step up to that next level. So we'll have to see. It'll be interesting. I do want to talk about the next two opponents. It's a double dose of gun in New York. At least we get these games out of the way. I know it's a back-to-back and it's a road games at 7 o'clock. The Islanders have looked pretty weak at times with their only wins coming against the Rangers and the Phillies, which is sort of surprising. But
Phillies?
The Flyers. Yeah. Too much baseball going on. Which, by the way, that game is 7-3. Chicago is still losing here in the top of the sixth or the bottom of the sixth. So, sorry, chat was pretty funny. Gil said, since you're a Ravens fan, I'd be glad you weren't listening to me earlier talk about them getting curb stomped. And then Tino saying, wow, without the refs' help,
I saw the whole thing. I didn't need to listen to it. I watched the whole bloody thing. I must have been in a masochistic mood or something.
Right.
But yeah, I watched all 60 minutes of that thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And then Tina said, wow, without the refs' help, we see the real Kansas City. So, which is very true. So I guess they felt bad trying to help the Chiefs against Trevor on his birthday. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about this Islanders team. What are your thoughts on them, Gil?
Well, their calling card this year is going to be the their first round pick making the team, Matt Schaefer. So you're going to see some of him. Other than that, they're not awful like Boston or Pittsburgh, but you're probably not going to see them make much of a playoff push. I don't expect a win. Anything can happen in the first couple weeks of the season, but um, Washington shouldn't have too hard a time, but you never know. The Rangers game, that's going to be very interesting because you have a resurging team that is looking to get back into the playoffs after an uber disappointing year last year. And they've made some interesting moves, to say the least. And I'm being polite when I say that, because they haven't been known for making very smart moves recently. But that'll be a good early test. And it's nice to get a back-to-back out of the way, I guess. Not if you're a podcaster who regularly records on the weekends. Thank you, NHL. But that's then they'll have something of a break, and then a couple games in the next week. But it'd be a very interesting set of games. I expect a pretty good start for the Caps now.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get some big victories here. C4, what are your thoughts on the back-to-back on the Island and the Rangers?
Yeah, Islanders again. I don't expect to see much change from them. They're a very streaky team. They can be good, they can be bad. It just depends on who shows up. The Rangers, they have made some interesting moves in terms of their personnel players, but they have got a good coach in Mike Sullivan. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they develop this year under his command, so to speak. But I think this early in the season, we should not have much trouble with them.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. So next week, C4 will be on assignment watching football. But we got Gil being able to recap going to a game and then the 2 road games. So that'll be a fun first hour that will cover some of that. And also be live watching the Commanders games. I'll be giving updates, and also the game that C4 is going to be at. And hopefully C4, you can take some pictures too, and then maybe we can shoot some of those up on air if we have time. And I'm excited for hockey season to be back. I have to figure out how I'm going to watch it, but that's here or there. Hopefully, I'll figure that out sooner rather than
later.
Send
my creds for DirecTV.
Yeah, God, I just didn't want to go back to cable. I may just bite the bullet. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm just disappointed, I guess, in the Capitals, especially.
DirecTV Stream is cheaper than the old DirecTV.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know, but I don't have FiOS out here, so it's Xfinity or DirecTV Stream, and DirecTV Stream is way cheaper than Xfinity. I mean,
I'm curious if
unfortunately, the only internet I have is Xfinity, so.
Right, because I have FiOS cable. It'd be interesting to see if. I just can't believe that Hulu TV didn't make a deal with them too. That's the part that seems so strange to me. Like, I can understand YouTube TV; they're having negotiation issues with a couple of different companies, including the NBC line of families. So I'm interested to see how this all goes going forward. And but Gil, I do want to give you a shot. I know that you had a second announcement, so I'll leave this opportunity for you to share that.
Yes. So okay. So again, tune in to our first episode Friday. And again, if you want to be a part of that and connect with us as we're recording, we'll make that available to you. Just get with us on our Facebook page, DM either myself or C4, and we'll get you that information. But the big announcement is our very first contest. And yes, we plan on auctioning off of sorts. 2 club level tickets. These will be the very same tickets. Seats, not tickets, but seats rather, that Mrs. Blue Liner and I will have for the opening game. This will be for the, let me double check here. The not March. I got March on the brain. October 21st. So in a couple 3 weeks, the October 21st home game. That's Tuesday night, October the 21st, 7 o'clock puck drop against the Seattle Kraken. So it's a couple of 200 level seats that we will be raffling off. Proceeds to benefit our new charity partner, Empowering Education. Now, we'll be talking about them at a bit of length and what we'll be doing for them, they'll be doing for us, and what they offer to the community. This new educational charity that's helping everybody out this year. It's a kind of a new wrinkle to the podcast. We've never really had anything of a sponsor before, but we're getting some backing this year, and it's a dream come true for me. It's one of the reasons I got into podcasting. They'll help us expand our audience, and therefore, maybe we can draw in more fans of the Capitals, which is what we're all about. Get people more involved in the discussion. But we're going to be raffling off 200 level tickets for that game. Again, it's the October 21st game against the Seattle Kraken, and so we've got the website up and running to make the purchase of the raffle tickets. Robbie, I don't know if you just posted that, but
I did just put it into Twitch chat, which will link to
excellent,
almost
awesome.
all of them. Let me add it to the Facebook chat just as well, just as a.
I was just going to ask you if you could put it in as part of your Twitch. I don't know if it can be part of a raid or anything like that either. I'm still fuzzy on how that works, but yeah, if you could let the Twitch audience know as well.
Yeah, I just posted it in Twitch, and then I also I think that just shared live on the Facebook as well, and then I can always go back and edit and add it into our notes as well. It just showed up in Twitch that I posted it on Facebook, so that's good. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
Yeah. So
now, if this one, sorry, Robbie, but if this initial contest is successful in raising quite a bit of funds, then we hope to make it something of a regular rotation, maybe 1 or 2 more times during the season, where maybe a bigger game or more important game during the season that we make available as well. So really hope everybody gets involved and considers being a part of the raffle.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Interesting. Bots One has an interesting thing. Netflix needs to step in. They have a huge opportunity to change the game in sports TV access. They've changed the game once in movies, then in TV, now do sports. I have a feeling what they're working on. That actually makes a really big point. Like if they could make a deal.
Yeah, they've got their hand in. They've got their hand in some sports. They are due to cover the next Women's World Cup soccer tournament. Yeah. So it would not be unusual for them to get involved. So they might become a big player in all of this.
Internationally,
they've done
a
really good job so far with WWE Raw. I've been pretty impressed with it. I was a little.
Yeah, I know some friends that use VPN to watch all of it on Netflix because they don't want to buy all the different wrestling across all the different things. In the international Netflix, you have access to all of the wrestling. So I think that's a good shout. Bots One is one of our newest followers over on Twitch. He's been he joined us last Thursday and he's back today chatting with us. So I appreciate him for tuning in. He says that he's a big hockey fan. I think he said he was an Avalanche fan. So I do think that is something that Netflix should do. I mean, if they're smart, they swoop in right now and make a deal with Monumental in Ovechkin's last year. Imagine internationally, potentially how many people would want to tune in. And Netflix has such a global market. Because I was going to say, if they're willing to I need a network to do this. I'll pay $5 for a single channel. I'm not paying $20 for a single channel, but do a la carte. I don't need 1,000,000 channels. I don't need cable. I don't need 300 channels. I just
Right.
need Monumental, but I don't want to just only buy Monumental. So there's got to be a way to do this. It's not, if you're a smart company that's big like Netflix, get on this, because I think internationally people are going to want to tune into Ovechkin's games. And
Oh, for sure.
yeah, so. Anyway, well,
Sorry.
with that, we have a big time raid target today that I'm super excited about. But let everyone get their final thoughts in a second. But I have a friend, Emily Henry Music, who's had a couple of concerts at our house over the years, and we're actually at the last show on this current tour. We were the last show on her previous tour this spring. So that show will be November 1st here. They're upstairs if it's bad weather. In sort of our dining room that we reconfigure with chairs as an indoor venue when it's raining, which we did last year. Or ideally, if the weather is nice enough, we'd like to do it outside and have like a bonfire and stuff like that, and have music. And so that'll be November 1st. It's going to be like a post-Halloween thing. You can go check out emilyhenrymusic.com and buy tickets there. There's a limited number of seats just because in case we do have to move it indoors. I can only fit about 25 people upstairs. So that'll be a factor. Gil has come to one of those concerts before.
I was at that concert last summer. I can definitely tell you she is worth the price of admission. Mrs. Blue Liner loved her music so much. We bought 2 of her CDs afterwards. So I can definitely tell you she is a great show.
Yeah, and Gil and C4 and anybody listening, you are always welcome to join us. So definitely go check out emilyhenrymusic.com. The tickets are very reasonable. And so it's going to be like a post-Halloween celebration. So if people like my kids want to wear costumes one last time, they can, but it's not mandatory. If people want to move on to Thanksgiving thoughts and wear, they can do that too. But just thought it would be like a fun Saturday night activity. So I'm really excited about that. And so she's actually live at a house show in Vancouver right now. And so we're going to raid into that in just a few moments. But I do want to let C4 give her final shout outs and then Gil his final shout outs as well. So C4, any last news that you want to let us know about?
Well, Capital's Off Their Chain podcast is up and running again. We are in our 5th season. And we have been going through, I guess we're doing episode 6 tomorrow. Is it 6? Episode 6 tomorrow for this season. We are going to live stream the Boston game. The original plan was to possibly go down and do it from the Irish Channel in DC, but we decided, nah, it'd probably be too loud, so we'll just do it from here. So we will be live streaming on YouTube the Boston game. We're also doing the Rangers in Tampa Bay. Now the YouTube channel has changed. The name of the channel is because there are other All Sports Podcast Network on YouTube.
Oh no, I've got to change. All right.
Yeah.
So I just did a command.
Not some, but all.
Yeah. So I just did a command. So ignore that command. But definitely go follow them. And I need to update the commands now that I know that you've changed your YouTube name. So so definitely go check them out. And
so he covers wrestling, he covers hockey, baseball. We're gonna start an AHL podcast soon. So yeah. What in December? Oh, he's gonna start lacrosse this year as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, C4, I'm excited to have you on. I know that we won't have you on next Monday, but hopefully the following one we'll have you back in. I hope that you enjoyed the football, and definitely go check out their podcast. And then DC's People Champ is excited about the wrestling, and So that's awesome for sure. And Botswana, if you want to check out on YouTube, I do a scuba channel as well. So if you go to the YouTube/Robbie Goes, the last one, you can get scuba vlogs, do conservation. It's a really cute birthday video for Zara. She had a petting zoo at our house with a unicorn at it. So if you want to see that to the music of Emily Henry, who we're about to go visit, you can go check out that video. I think it's really cute. So lots of stuff and additional content, family vlogs over there, and all my previous streams, including art streams and other topics as well.
I just popped the link to the YouTube channel in the chat.
Nice.
Not here, the chat, but the Facebook chat.
The Facebook chat.
The group chat.
Got it. I see it now. I will copy that, and I'm going to post it in our Twitch chat here, and then also, let me see if I can do it there on the Facebook as well.
So there's the NFC South Showdown, which is football, MLB Hotshot Takes, IWC World Wrestling, Capitals Off the Chain. He's going to start. What was the one he just saw? I just saw that he was going to start. He's going to start AHL Icebreakers coming up at the end of the month, I think.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see for thank you so much for all of it. I'm gonna let Gil give his final shots, but I appreciate your time as always. Hopefully we'll have a lot of fun stuff to talk about with the Capitals this year.
I hope so too. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, Gil, final shout outs for you before we do a little bit of a raid.
Okay, so one more time, we're recording this Friday evening. It'll be a little after 5. You want to join us as we're doing that. Hit us up in the Facebook room, or DM myself and or Cheryl, and we'll make sure to get you the contact information so that you can call in or join by link as we're doing that recording. And the contest has begun for the giveaway for the October 21st game. It's Caps versus the Seattle Kraken, 7 o'clock puck drop to benefit Empowering Education, our charity partner this year, who is helping us out as well as a sponsor. So I want to encourage all Caps fans, check out the site that Robbie has graciously helped us out in putting us up. Check it out. If you want to purchase a ticket, great. There are 200 level seats. These are really great seats. So, I don't know how you feel about the Kraken, but it's going to be a great view of the game. So you're really helping everybody out here, and you're going to have a great time at the game. So please.
How long is the raffle up for? I missed that part. How long is it up for?
So we're probably going to close it probably a little, maybe 1 or 2 days before the actual game, but we'll definitely be sure to have the tickets in your hands by then, before the day of. So we'll make that. So
we can promo it again next week, is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. So everybody, thank you so much. C4, thanks for helping us out as always. Friday night, and one last thing, Robbie, do you still do webmastering?
I do, yeah.
Then we'll be talking off air. You may be of service to us and this our charity partner. The executive director has an idea that he wants to put out, and I said you do webmastering, and so you might be able to help us out in that regard.
Sounds good. Yeah, I do. For people that don't know, my side job, if anyone ever wants to message me, I do tech support for elderly people now, and I also do web design, graphic design, and do video editing as well as driving my kids to their million different events. So daddy Uber as well. So I still do all those different things. It's been really cool to be able to work with all these different people and teach them again, and do, whether you could be all over the world. So anyone on Twitch, I can zoom in, I can help help set up OBS or technology issues and help you on Mac PC, iPhone, iPad, stuff like that. Or I can do it locally in-house if you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area as well. So it's been really cool helping all these different people out. I was surprised how many people need help in this, especially with the Windows migration, which my old PC that I've run this stream for 7 years is like, we cannot upgrade you anymore. So I may need to give myself some tech support soon. So thanks, Windows. Actually, thanks in real life because you're giving me a lot of business. But, it is frustrating for old people that are very confused when they say October 14th is looming.
What's happening October 14th?
They're getting rid of support for Windows 10. So
Windows 10 is going bye-bye. It's called end of life, where no more updates, no more security, and you can still use it, but it's an at your own risk type of thing.
You can buy yourself an extra year to kick the can down the curb. They're offering that because
I've got Windows 11 on everything already, and
that's good. I don't.
I bit the bullet and got Microsoft 365, and it's like, because it automatically updates. So I'm like, I'm all good for now.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. Well, we'll have more time to talk next week. I'm going to do our raid command over to Emily Henry Music. She's a good friend of mine. I've been over there for quite some time. This will be the third time I've hosted her and fifth show that I will have gone to. There's one last Pokemon to catch if you want to do that on our way out. Botsman says, I'm a web developer too. Do you have Discord? I don't have my own Discord public channel, but you can find me with the same handle name as my Twitch one. Or if you message me, I can send you a direct link as well if you whisper me on Twitch. I chat more on Instagram and on Facebook, so that's probably an easier way to talk to me. Again, it's the same name here on Instagram as well, or you can find me, Robbie Gross. On Facebook is the best way to reach me, for anybody that wants to do it. But we're going to head over to Emily Henry. I've done a bunch of different raid commands and calls. You can do any of them. I really appreciate Scott for raiding me earlier and for the resub for Tina. Thank you, everyone, for all the love. I know we've been on Thursdays the previous two shows. Nice to be back on a Monday. Next Monday, we'll have the Bears game live. We'll have some baseball playoffs live. We'll also have a second football game that C4 is at live and more. So hopefully you'll be able to tune in. We're going to send our love over to Emily, who's in Vancouver. And so check her out right now. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night, everybody.